Coronavirus case numbers are up in the area following the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm Chris Warner. We'll take a look at those numbers and how they stack up for one county compared to last year.
New York City mandates a first-in-the-nation vaccine mandate for private companies. I'm Brian Yennis in New York City. I'll have more coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. We are nearly 2 weeks past the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, and COVID-19 case numbers for that time are starting to come in. KOM's Chris Warner has more on our local numbers.
The numbers that we saw over the Thanksgiving holiday are exactly what local health officials expected. They're up compared to the last few weeks. We saw increases in nearly every county in our area. According to data from the Missouri and Kansas State Health Agency websites, Joplin saw 47 new cases, Jasper County saw 74, Newton County saw 19, and Crawford County saw 97 new cases, though their data is from a slightly more open period than Missouri. We spoke with Newton County Health Department Administrator Larry Bergner about cases in his county.
We are at a point now where we have 123 active cases in Newton County. The day before Thanksgiving, we had 62. So certainly we have seen almost a doubling of the number of active cases since Thanksgiving holiday.
Larry Bergner says he's looking forward to the day when the coronavirus is no longer severe and just becomes something like the flu. Until that time, he's keeping a close eye on trends and numbers in his county and the surrounding area, doing what he can to stop the spread. The Thanksgiving holiday was a time he knew numbers would go up, but he says despite the increase, vaccines seem to be keeping the virus in check.
And because of that immunization and those who have had COVID and have recovered and have that natural immunity, those symptoms are much less severe. And so I'm very hopeful that that will continue to where those who get COVID, the symptoms will be mild and they can recover at home as opposed to having to seek out medical attention.
Additionally, the number of PCR tests increased significantly. In Jasper County, on Sunday the 28th, there were 94 PCR COVID tests. That number jumped to 200 by Monday. Newton County saw a similar increase, going from 44 on Sunday to 112 by Monday.
I think as people enjoyed the holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday, and now come back to going to work and their normal routine, if they start feeling a little bit ill, they're more apt to go get tested. And we do see also when we get a spike in our daily cases, I do notice a trend that we'll see also a spike in our testing numbers.
Despite the increase in cases, Bergner says there is hope on the horizon as he looks at numbers compared to last year's Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, last year, November 24th, day before Thanksgiving, we actually had 454 active cases. This year, we have 62. So even though we've seen an increase in the numbers around the Thanksgiving holidays, they're nowhere near where we were last year.
I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
Bergner says he's hopeful that people getting vaccinated and just natural immunity from those who have been sick will also reduce the future strain on our local hospitals. And of course, he continues to urge everyone who's eligible to get vaccinated or to get a booster shot to do that as soon as possible. Well, can some troubling seasonal afflictions you experience help prevent you from getting the coronavirus? New study says yes. Researchers at Queen Mary University of London say people who suffer from allergies and some atopic diseases also have lower risks of getting COVID-19. Scientists analyzed data from 16,000 people for about a 9-month period of the pandemic. Those with allergies and other diseases, including asthma, had about a 40% lower risk of a COVID-19 infection. Those with atopic problems like eczema and hay fever or rhinitis had 23% less risk. Asian or Asian British had twice the risk of testing positive compared with white UK adults, however. New York City is implementing a major vaccine mandate requiring private companies to make sure their employees are vaccinated. This as the Omicron variant of COVID-19 appears in more than a dozen states and as cases continue to rise across the nation. Fox News correspondent Brian Yennis has more now from New York.
Beginning December 27th, everyone working in New York City will be required to be fully vaccinated.
These measures today will make a big difference.
The mandate is the first of its kind nationwide imposed on the private sector and will impact more than 184,000 employers in the Big Apple. Mayor Bill de Blasio also expanding vaccination rules to children. Kids age 5 to 11 will have to show proof of vaccination for indoor dining and entertainment venues across the city.
So, look, we're working closely with the state government, with the federal government. This is the biggest crisis, not only of our time, of the history of New York City.
Meanwhile, new data published over the weekend by Israeli researchers suggests the Omicron variant may be more contagious, but not as deadly as other variants. Despite this, experts continue to urge people to get vaccinated, get your booster shot, and to take precautions such as wearing masks.
Report after report is that it spreads very widely, easily, maybe more than Delta, but isn't getting people as sick, especially if you're vaccinated.
The Biden administration is also considering lifting their current travel ban for non-citizens entering the United States from several African countries.
We all feel very badly about the hardship that might have put upon not only South Africa, but the other African countries. And for that reason, in real time, literally on a daily basis, we're reevaluating that policy.
New travel restrictions are now in place, requiring all international travelers arriving in the U.S. by plane to provide a negative COVID-19 test within 24 hours before boarding. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Meteorologist Doug Eddy joining us now. Cold out there. Doug?
It is. After we saw pretty good temperatures over the weekend, we had the cold front last night, gave some thunderstorms along and south of Interstate 44, and then it got cold. Temperatures today struggled, afternoon highs only into lower 40s. This is a midnight high of 47, so pretty cold for us today. Normal high is 50 degrees. We've had clouds increasing over the past several hours. There's nothing really underneath these clouds, but we do have a weak wave which is going to shift through as we go through about the next 24 hours or so. Good news, though, as we work through the week, we start to warm up. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
Doug, thank you. Joplin man is arrested for kidnapping another man. Joplin police say Benjamin Bartlett held the man at gunpoint in the back of a car, refused to let him leave. Officers found the vehicle and gave chase. Eventually, Bartlett left the vehicle and ran, but was caught. He's being charged now with second-degree kidnapping, resisting arrest, and armed criminal action. Some road work began today in Joplin. Country Club Drive from 26th Street to 32nd Street is closed through Friday as crews fix sewer lines under the road. Crews also began preliminary work on the 32nd Street widening project, causing some lane closures on that road. Well, a Webb City attraction that has become a tradition for many Forest State families is temporarily closed. Webb City Parks and Recreation says the Polar Express trolley jumped the track, and while they were able to get it back on, it's going to be a while before things go back to normal. It's going to run again. The group night Polar Bear Express tomorrow night is canceled. Officials aren't sure when it's going to be up and running again. They hope to know by tomorrow. A sponsor for the KOM Toy Box campaign took some of the money raised so far, went on a shopping spree to buy toys for area kids in need. Miss Daisy's Home and Decor in Joplin did the shopping at Walmart, and we sent KOM photojournalist Ty Parks to check it all out.
Personally, I love Legos. My boys have always loved Legos, and so I just think Legos are fun. Oh, and also, it's just fun to choose something that you would want or you would like to see your kids get.
I love it. We're a local business. We completely believe in local, staying local, and giving back to our community. And this is right up our alley, and I love it.
Really important because I want every child to have a good Christmas, so I feel like this was a great way to be able to do that.
KOM Toy Box!
Be sure to tune in to the noon, 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. newscasts on Channel 7, our sister station, tomorrow for our second Toy Box Tuesday telethon. Quapaw Tribe helped one of the KOM Toy Box campaign toy distributors. Ottawa County Toys for Tots plans to help 700 kids in Ottawa County receive a present this Christmas. Now, to help make that goal a reality, Quapaw Tribe donated $30,000 to the program.
Many families who thought they weren't going to have Christmas. So this check is amazing. I was scrambling trying to find the toys to handle the 700 children from Ottawa County, and now I do not have to.
The donation was made during a film premiere over at the Coleman Theater in Miami, a beautiful place. Hey, this is also Fox 14's 18th annual Feed the Four States Food Drive. We're collecting non-perishable food items at Wesco Home Furnishing Stores in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, also Feedland Dermatology and Tropical Tan in Joplin. Donations are going to help stock the shelves of area food pantries like Crosslines, also Wesley House during the season of high demand. You can also give online at our website, komnewsnow.com/feed. Food drive is going to continue until December 31st. Now, monetary donations can be stretched to provide 4 meals per dollar. So please give what you can, and we thank you so much in advance. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Gracie Garofalo served in the U.S. Navy from 1943 to 46. We are proud to thank and salute Gracie Garofalo, native of Cherryville, Kansas. She's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Keddy's next with a complete look at the forecast. A bit later, 3 Joplin seniors signing to continue their running careers in college, including one in the Ivy League. Gonna have more in sports.
Huge savings this weekend at Ashley Home.
Well, it actually turned out to be a very cold Monday for us after a pretty good weekend. Temperatures nice. All the way near 70 for us yesterday. Had some thunderstorms yesterday evening, got the cold front. Now it has turned much colder across the region. Plenty of sunshine today. We do have some clouds which have been increasing. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in. Afternoon highs only into lower 40s. We should be topping out near 50. In fact, we stayed in the 30s in our northern counties, lower 40s in our southwestern counties. And of course, we've dropped off since then. Sun went down, temperatures started to drop. Now most of us near 30 degrees. We have some clouds which are thickening up, so that's actually going to keep what little amount of heat we do have outside kind of in to the lower atmosphere. So I think we'll only drop back 26 or 27 if that's not cold enough. Northerly winds all day long, kind of ushering in that cooler air, finally starting to calm, kind of switching to the east, and then eventually we'll start to kick out of the south a little bit later on tonight. Looks okay. 7th and range line looking north. It's 31 east northeasterly winds at about 5. Humidity is sitting at about 61%, but you can see those clouds which have increased over the past several hours. So mostly cloudy skies, and that's what we're going to see tonight. We are staying dry, but there is a very weak little wave. You can see it sliding across the northern parts of the plains. It doesn't have much in the way of moisture. It will produce snow across the northern plains, but for us, we're mainly just going to get clouds. We got to wait for this system to kick out, and this is going to start to kind of alter our jet stream a little bit and get us into a little bit more of an active pattern. It's not active, but it's more active than what we have seen over the past couple weeks. For us tonight, just mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures mid-20s. Look at the winds. They start to work back out of the south. For us tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, near 40 by noon. Most of us will top out at about 46 or 47 tomorrow afternoon, which is better than what we saw today. 27 to start, 43 by noon, high temp of 47, southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, we may get a few random sprinkles, maybe even a few flurries. It's not a big deal, and then eventually we clear out by the time we head into Wednesday morning. Wednesday looks better. We go well into the 50s for highs, so we're back where we should be for this time of the year. We're going to go into the 60s for highs by the time Thursday rolls around. We should go into lower 70s by the time Friday rolls around, but then another strong cold front. Right now it looks mainly dry, but another strong cold front rolls in Friday night into Saturday morning, cooling us back down. But 47 tomorrow, 58 Wednesday, 69 on Thursday, and then near record highs on Friday. So not bad.
No, jacket weather for the time being, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cold right now.
Yeah. But then it's going to get up to 74.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right,
All
let's see a
over.
little bit. Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, coming up, the ongoing sell for the Build Back Better.
President Biden says his Build Back Better bill will help lower prescription drug prices as he pushes Democrats to move the bill forward in the Senate. I'm Lauren Blanchard on Capitol Hill. I'll have more on where it stands coming up.
We've got information.
Biden administration announced a diplomatic boycott of the 2022 Beijing Olympics. No diplomatic representatives are going to be going. This is a statement against Chinese human rights abuses. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the administration was sending a clear message that the human rights abuses mean there cannot be, quote, business as usual. She said the White House did not feel it was fair, however, to penalize U.S. athletes by holding an entire U.S. boycott of the Olympics. President Biden spoke about the impact the Build Back Better Act is going to have on prescription drug costs. This as lawmakers face a packed legislative schedule before 2021 comes to a close. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more now from Capitol Hill.
President Biden says his Build Back Better bill is necessary to bring down prescription drug costs.
So we need Congress to finish the job, to come together and make the difference in people's lives.
It's just one of the reasons he wants Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to get the nearly $2 trillion bill to the Senate floor as soon as possible. But a Christmas deadline is looking less likely. The bill has been slowed by the Senate Parliamentarian's Office, which is checking to make sure it fits within reconciliation and the Byrd Rule, meaning all parts of the bill must impact the federal budget.
As early as we can get it, I want to get it done no matter how long it takes.
Reconciliation also means it can be passed through a simple majority, but moderate Democratic senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema continue to raise concerns. Others in Congress worry it may give state and local tax breaks to millionaires. Adding urgency for Democrats, an expanded monthly child tax credit will expire at the end of the month if the Senate does not pass the Build Back Better bill or other legislation to extend it. Meanwhile, Republicans call the bill reckless spending and oppose financing it through tax increases on the wealthy and large corporations.
Those tax increases are going to really hurt the economy and businesses across the country.
Schumer warned senators they should prepare for long days, nights, and potentially weekends as they still have to deal with annual defense funding and the debt limit. On Capitol Hill, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Next, an investigation in Michigan widening.
The latest on the Michigan school shooting investigation. I'm Stephen Goen in Oxford, Michigan. That story ahead.
Pennsylvania awards $6.6 million to the Tree of Life Synagogue. That's where 11 people were killed, 6 others wounded during a shooting. Money is going to be used to redevelop the site as a memorial and education center. Back in 2018, a gunman opened fire inside the synagogue in what police believe was an anti-Semitic attack. Among those killed, several were Holocaust survivors. Governor Tom Wolf called the state's funding for a new site a step towards healing and remembrance. The new synagogue, by the way, is going to share its space with the Holocaust Center of Pittsburgh. Parents of accused shooter Ethan Crumley still in jail on manslaughter charges related to last week's school shooting in Michigan. Fox News multimedia reporter Stephen Goen has the latest now from Oxford, Michigan.
A Michigan artist says he didn't know the parents of the Michigan school shooting suspect were hiding out in his studio last weekend. James and Jennifer Crumbley went missing on Friday, but were found in a commercial building in Detroit on Saturday morning. A lawyer for the artist says the couple came to him on Friday, but that he didn't know they were facing charges, or that they stayed in his studio after he left. The Crumbleys have been charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, and they're being held on a combined $1 million bond.
These 2 individuals were found locked somewhere in a room hiding. These are not people that we can be assured will return to court on their own.
The pair are now being held in the same jail as their son Ethan, who's accused of killing 4 people at Oxford High School last week. Attorneys for the parents say they plan to turn themselves in before their arrest.
The prosecutor's office, instead of getting back to us in any way, decided to have a press conference and, as Ms. McDonald admitted, try to find a way to surprise our clients and catch them off guard.
Their son is behind bars when he needs them more than he ever has in his whole life, and they're caught in a locked room hiding in an art studio. So how does a lawyer explain that? How's she going to blame that on the prosecutor?
A third party will investigate events at the high school leading up to the shooting. In Oxford, Michigan, Stephen Goen, Fox News.
All right, coming up, a visit to Germany for the house with the most Christmas trees.
Pivoting.
All right, take a good look at this. A world record that is getting many people in the holiday spirit. In Germany, the Jeromin family's home is going down the record books for the most decorated Christmas trees in one place. Look at all of them. Took a total of 350 Christmas trees. 350, which fill up the entire house, jam-packed from the bedroom to hallways and the living room, as we're seeing. Each tree is decorated to the nines, complete with tinsel and fairy lights. No two trees are the same, as you can find various themes on display from stormtroopers to superheroes. Trying to take a closer look here. Family started putting the trees up 3 months before Christmas. Had a total of 316 Christmas trees last year and are hoping to beat their own record next year with even more. Can you imagine the owners of that place, the guests during Christmas? Come on over, we got room for you. Not any of your luggage, not any other stuff you might bring with you, just you. You got a place in bed just for you. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Tributes continue to pour in, honoring the life of the late former Senator Bob Dole. I'm Lauren Blanchard on Capitol Hill. What political leaders are saying about his life of service coming up.
Plus, an MSSU course taking students on a deep dive into historical events.
Over 150. Right here on Fox 14.
Well, sometimes problematic Joplin intersection will soon be seeing more changes. Joplin City Council tonight voted to amend the 32nd Street Community Improvement District to add property that includes the 36th Street and Range Line intersection. The amended petition also includes improvements along 32nd Street near the new Hammonds Boulevard. The amendment passed on an emergency basis. Missouri Southern students are taking a trip back in time with Reacting to the Past. It's an interactive course that involves role-playing or reenacting historical events. For instance, students played a game in which they were role-playing as the Japanese imperial court, debating whether or not to go to war with the U.S. Other role-playing challenges included tackling issues like the Cuban Missile Crisis.
It is such an invaluable learning experience because when students walk away from the course, they will remember so much more about the events, having kind of taken on the roles of the people that were involved in them.
Officials hope to make this a full-time course. Art and design students at MSSU shared some holiday cheer by selling some handmade pottery and sculptural objects. Teachers say the sale is a great way for students to learn and develop skills, in addition for them to recouping some of the material costs of the ceramics class.
You know, a new experience for everyone, and we had some fumbling around, which that's what we want to do. We want to have that in a safe, protective zone like school versus first time they're doing their own sale, you know, out in their own personal studio.
A percentage of the proceeds from the sale will also help pay for equipment for the ceramics program. Well, a potential diplomatic and security breach involving iPhones. Apple notified 11 U.S. State Department employees in Uganda that their iPhones were hacked. Investigators have linked the hack to a mobile tool developed by an Israeli-based technology company called NSO Group. The company has been blacklisted by the Biden administration. Those targeted included foreign service officers and locals working for the U.S. Embassy in Uganda. NSO says it terminated relevant customer access and will cooperate with investigating authorities. Last week, Apple sued NSO Group, accusing the company of using malware and spyware to target and attack Apple, its customers, products, and servers. Kohl's could be sold or broken up into two companies, one with stores, the other online shopping. The Wall Street Journal says a major Kohl's investor, Engine Capital, is pushing the company to make changes to boost its stock price. Engine owns about 1% of Kohl's shares. Kohl's chief executive, Michelle Gass, has pushed back, though, against the idea of separating the company. He says its stores and website work together. Engine Capital believes that there are private equity firms that would pay at least $75 per share. All this after a similar move at Saks Fifth Avenue and ongoing talks between Macy's and activist firm Jana Partners. Former presidential candidate, senator, and war hero Bob Dole has passed away. Today he's being remembered for his life and legacy. Fox's Lauren Blanchard joins us again, and she's in Washington with more.
Flags in D.C. flying at half-staff in honor of longtime Senator Bob Dole. He died on Sunday at the age of 98 after a battle with stage 4 lung cancer. He is survived by his wife and daughter. His family writing, "Bob Dole was never only ours. We shared him with Americans from every walk of life and every political persuasion."
He is a role model for all of us, Republicans and Democrats who serve the United States Senate.
President Biden released a statement on Dole's legacy, reading in part, "Bob was an American statesman like few in our history, a war hero and among the greatest of the greatest generation." Dole ran for the Republican presidential nomination 3 times, securing it once, but lost to former President Clinton, who said this on Sunday, quote, "Bob was passionate and spirited, sharp and funny. He could fan the partisan fires and put them out when an honorable compromise was in reach." The Kansas senator was known to cross the aisle, serving nearly 36 years in Congress.
I always thought that differences were a healthy thing, and that's why we're also healthy, because we have a lot of differences in this chamber.
Badly injured in World War II, Dole fought in Congress for more accessibility for the disabled, helping to pass the Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990. After leaving office, he played a big part in helping to build the World War II Memorial on the National Mall.
President Biden has ordered flags lowered until Thursday. On Capitol Hill, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
A little bit later, the many places Santa has already been spotted so far.
From hundreds of skiing Santas to underwater Christmas tree decorating. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer with a look at the uniquely festive activities spreading holiday cheer coming up.
At some
Well, it's definitely been a cold start to the week after pretty good temperatures over the weekend, and then temperatures for us, at least over the past couple days, or since last night, have really started to drop off, and it looks like our temperatures are going to continue to drop through the overnight hours for us tonight, which of course stinks, but it's not going to last long, which is pretty good news. All right, look at our highs today. These are afternoon highs, only upper 30s to lower 40s. That's it. That's about 10 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. And of course, we've been dropping off over the past several hours. So it's cold out there. It's 31 in Nevada, 30 in Stockton, 31 in Neosho. Head over into Oklahoma from Grand Lake up toward Miami, right around freezing. Pittsburgh is sitting at 30. It's 33 in Chanute. But everybody's going to kind of hang out into the mid-20s later on tonight. At least the winds have died down. These were actually kind of breezy earlier for us today, and now they're switching around toward the south, so they've diminished, which is good. As our temperature drops, we definitely don't want a cold wind chill factor out there. Partly cloudy skies. We got some mid and upper level clouds streaming in, easterly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 61%, and you can see these clouds starting to thicken up over the past several hours. Again, they're thin, but we do have mostly cloudy skies. This is due to a weak little wave that's kind of shooting right across the central and northern parts of the plains, producing a little bit of snow up through South Dakota. But because it's so far north, it can't get any Gulf moisture, so it's not going to do much for us. But we are starting to see some changes. The main jet stream is right about through here, but we are starting to get some waves dipping farther south, and that will be a kind of a slow change over about the next 10 days. But we need that to happen to get some bigger systems into the area. For us tonight, just a lot of clouds. Mid-20s, so a cold start to the day. We'll have mostly cloudy skies through the morning. I do think tomorrow's going to be a little warmer. We should be near 40 by noon, and I think most of us will go into the mid-40s. I think about 46 or 47. 43 by noon, high temp at 47, southerly winds at 5 to 10. We may get a few sprinkles in here, or even a few flurries in here tomorrow evening. Something we'll watch. It doesn't look like anything significant by any means. And then eventually we'll clear out by the time we head into Wednesday morning. Wednesday, we start turning it around. We'll get sunshine again. We go into the mid-50s, actually pressing 60 for afternoon highs. And then we'll get temperatures even warmer by the time Thursday rolls around, pushing 70. And then I think we'll go into the 70s by the time I was trying to hold that back for a solid 30 seconds. Just snuck up on me. Should go into the 70s on Friday, and then we get a strong cold front, which is going to roll in just in time for the weekend and send us back down. 47 tomorrow, 58 Wednesday, near 70. By Thursday, 74, near record highs for Friday.
Allergies are bad, man.
They are, and I glance at those lights. It's like the sunshine. It's like, uh-oh.
I try to offer some excuse for you, because I got your back.
All right.
Allergies are bad.
They are bad.
All right. Okay, thank you. Coming up in sports, we're going to hear from 3 Joplin seniors signing today to continue their running careers in college. Also, Boomer, Oklahoma Sooners introducing their next head football coach, Jay Leonard. Has that and more next.
Join us
anytime.
The Oklahoma Sooners officially have a new head football coach. The school introduced Brent Venables today as the next leader of the program. Now, Venables, no stranger to Oklahoma. He was an assistant at OU from 1999 to 2011. He spent the last 10 years as the defensive coordinator at Clemson, where he helped the Tigers win a pair of national titles. Now, here he is today on returning to Norman after 10 years away.
It's kind of surreal for me to look around and see so many familiar faces and see a bunch of friends out here, and just an amazing journey here these last few days. Again, as I said earlier, if you would have asked me, 10 years ago, as I walked out of my office for the last time, and if I thought I'd be here 10 years later as the head football coach, I would have told you need to check yourself into a mental institution.
The Kansas City Chiefs are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. The Chiefs beat the Broncos last night at Arrowhead 22-9 for their 5th consecutive win. Now, Kansas City's now 8-4, entering the day tied for the best record in the AFC. Last night was about the defense and special teams for the Chiefs. They did allow 400 total yards, but a lot of that was garbage time, and they did force 3 turnovers, including a pick 6 in the 4th quarter that really slammed the door on Denver.
Defense, again, had a nice game here. I mean, it was beautiful to watch, and the pressure we put on Teddy and then the way we were able to sustain against a run game. And they're obviously a good football team. Vic Fangio is a heck of a football coach.
Well, today is a big day for a trio of Joplin High School student athletes. Now, those student athletes signed this afternoon to continue their careers at the college level. All 3 signing to run track and cross country. Now, 2 of them are going to stay teammates. Evan Matlock and Zabin Barnes signed today to run for the Missouri Southern Lions. The 3rd is Jenna Lee Dunn. Dunn is headed to Cornell to continue her running career. Listen, she's one of the best runners to ever come out of Joplin High. She has the best time in cross country in school history and 8 of the top 10 times in the Eagles record book.
Joplin's done so much for me. Like, I consider this my family, and just to kind of be able to give back to them and kind of set standards for other girls coming into the season for years to come is a real honor, and I'm glad to be able to contribute that.
It feels pretty good to be able to know that I'm good enough to go on to the collegiate level and compete with some of the greatest in the nation.
It means a lot to me because getting to be able to continue my competitive aspect and being able to run. I love running. I'll always love running.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
He sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake. That's pretty creepy to read, in a way, I gotta be honest with you. But did you also know he skis and goes scuba diving? Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer has more on how a group of Santa Clauses are spreading holiday cheer around the world.
If catching a glimpse of Santa Claus is a dream come true for most kids, imagine the excitement of seeing hundreds of Santas all at once. The snow-covered hills at Sunday River Resort in Maine covered in red this weekend as more than 200 skiers and snowboarders donned Santa suits and beards for a run down the slopes.
You were like breezing down the mountain and you could feel the snow going across your face, and all the Santas looked like red jelly beans.
But this wasn't a random stunt. The festive fundraiser bringing in more than $5,000 for children's education and recreational activities with each Santa donating at least $20 to participate. Meanwhile, some Santas overseas are going under the sea, trading in their reindeer for reefs and their sleds for scuba gear. 2 divers in an aquarium in Hungary wore St. Nick's classic uniform over their wetsuits to decorate a Christmas tree underwater.
Every year we make a Santa Claus dive. It's not a normal diving job. It's also a treat for the animals, as the Christmas tree will become a whole new part of their home.
And Santa may not have been in sight at ZSL London Zoo, but it didn't stop staff from helping some adorable penguins send letters to the jolly man in red. If you've ever dreamt about becoming Santa Claus, this could be your lucky year. According to the talent agency Hire Santa, there's roughly 3,000 open Santa positions across the country. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Next, going to check out the entertainment coming up this week, right here on Fox. See who wins it all on Fox's Alter Ego and more as TV seasons wrap up. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
It's a finale-filled week. Here's what's hot on Fox.
What you doing, Head?
She seems to be breathing steadily, Head. Monday, 911 gift wraps the fall season with an action-packed episode full of Christmas Eve emergencies for the 118.
We are live.
Then it's the season finale of The Big Leap, where a blackout threatens Performance Day, until the cast bands together to light up the stage.
We'll take care of you.
Tuesday, the fall finale of The Resident has day 1 of KIT's Flight Go Team program, sending Conrad into the field.
Unfinished business always comes back around.
The fall finale of Our Kind of People has Leah and Teddy delivering devastating news to Angela. Wednesday is the Group B finale on The Masked Singer with the Queen of Hearts versus Banana Split. And Nicole and Robin go from panelist to performer.
Maximize it.
Then find out who wins it all on this season finale of Alter Ego. The final 4 compete. One is named winner of the world's first Avatar singing competition.
What a terrific matchup.
Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum, has the Pittsburgh Steelers squaring off with the Minnesota Vikings. Friday, it's in the ring with WWE Friday Night SmackDown. And over the weekend,
The new Miss Universe is...
Sunday is the 70th Miss Universe competition live from Israel, all right here on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of the Carthage Christmas Parade. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. Keep warm. We'll see you tomorrow.